Did Ian Machado Garry just become the most promotable fighter in the UFC? I feel like Ian's starting to become likable, guys. I know that he's about to be MMA Guru's newest favorite fighter because he basically fired off at the entire Muslim Brotherhood last night. So he starts out by beating the brakes off of the former champion Belal Muhammed. Literally from pillar to post made it look easy, just like he said he would. Then he has the most awesome Octagon interview call out that we've seen in a really long time, calling out Islam Makhachev as directly as you could possibly get. But then right after that, goes backstage and gets into a scuffle with Khamzat Chimaev and Arman Tsarukyan. And based on their post-fight press conference reaction, he sort of made them look pretty silly. And from his own post-fight press conference, he basically crushed this entire thing. So let's just get straight into the Khamzat drama. I'm going to break all of this down. This was super weird because it starts off and you don't even think that there's a real problem. And then it just escalates out of nowhere. So check this out. Good job tonight. A bit of a slap on the back from Khamzat Chimaev, but you know, Ian Garry doesn't feel any problem here.
Ready to go?
And then this security guard starts to get in, and I don't really know why.
No, I'm on armor.
You can feel the tension. Already you can feel that there's more tension here. Why is this happening? Ian's like confused. Ian's like, he's not gonna fight. What?
He's good. He's a champion. Don't worry.
He's good. He's the champ. He's already won. He's trying to hug the security guard. He's like, look, no problem. And Khamzat's like visibly getting more tense and leaning into the situation. I think that what's happening right now is that Khamzat Chimaev knows that this is being recorded and he doesn't want to look like the guy that's not willing to fight. He always wants to look like the guy that's ready to go at any moment, right? And Ian Garry's sort of making him look like he's going to have to back down if he doesn't, you know, do something. So Khamzat pushes him.
Come on.
Arman gets in the middle.
Relax, boys. Relax.
And then you've got literally Father Time, Ebenezer Scrooge over here is like trying to tell Khamzat Chimaev and Arman Tsarukyan to relax. It's like if either of these guys wanted to, they could literally spear tackle this old man into dust right now. And thankfully he's there to stop Khamzat Chimaev and Ian Garry from turning into a brawl.
Dude, that's just childish. You're meant to be a champion in this sport. Look at me. You're meant to be a champion in this sport. Your friend just won. Don't ruin this weekend.
It's sort of true, right? Like he is taking away Arman Tsarukyan's moment here by making it all about himself, which Khamzat Chimaev has done in the past.
Arman, congratulations.
And Arman's like, yeah, okay, thank you, Ian. Go away now, please. Like, Khamzat just literally always gets into stuff with people, and I don't want this to happen again. And he's also probably saying, like, thank you for saying congratulations and all of that, right? But basically, Ian Garry then goes on to just, like, enjoy the rest of this moment. But I want to just play the first few seconds of this again, because literally this seemed completely fine, and then it blew up out of nowhere. You hear like a slap, I think that came from Ian. And then a thud, and that came from Khamzat. Ian Garry looks fine. I think by the way that security guard just reacted, I feel like Khamzat Chimaev must have done his whole like, yeah, seeming nice, and then he turns to his friends and he's like, I smashed that guy, brother. I killed that guy, brother. That type of thing. And so now the security guard, who probably has no clue about the UFC and is just being paid hourly to be there, is like, okay, I got to get in the middle of these guys because this guy said he was going to smash him.
Ready to go?
No, I'm on armor.
He's not going to fight me. He's good. He's a champion. Don't worry.
Ian Garry's literally confused. He's like, yeah, he's fine. He's the champ. Why would he have an issue with me? We were just saying good things about each other a second ago. Security guard, get out of here. What are you doing, buddy? But little did he know that this security guard is actually saving Ian Machado Garry from being held down for 25 minutes. And that's it. But moving on to the actual, this is Khamzat Chimaev's response and reaction to this incident. And I think when you see this is a pretty low aura moment for Khamzat Chimaev. Tell me what you think.
Why does Khamzat hate Ian Garry?
Khamzat hate who behaves very bad. He's a so quiet guy, but someone is trying to make a joke or behaving bad and misbehaving, you can joke with this guy.
Whoa.
Khamzat Chimaev is the behavior police at the UFC, guys. I don't know if you know that. So Dana White actually, once Khamzat became the middleweight champion, and, after all of the backstage brawls that he'd had, he went, there's no one better to manage the behavior of all of the fighters than Khamzat Chimaev, because worst case scenario, if someone gets out of line, he can just hold them down and eventually the police will turn up. So I think that's why they turned Khamzat Chimaev's role into middleweight champion and UFC behavior police.
What did Ian say? What was the joke? What caused
what was the bad behavior, Armin?
the issue?
I didn't see, but I heard.
I didn't see it, wasn't there. Oh, but I heard Khamzat said that he said something bad. Like, you could even understand what Khamzat says half the time anyway.
If
you touch somebody, that's respectful. Don't punch somebody in the behind,
Don't punch somebody. Did Ian Garry punch Khamzat Chimaev, guys?
He punched you in the back?
Yeah, like they punching, like slapping my back, I have to respect.
It was the slapping his back. Ian, no one's allowed to slap Khamzat Chimaev's back.
If you want to show respectful, touch somebody. That's why I said tell him to touch somebody, respect. That's it.
Just so that we can see, what Khamzat had a big deal about. Okay, tell me, if you think that this is a big deal, if someone did this to you in public, would you then start to escalate and fight them? I genuinely want to know, because I need to avoid you in society, please. That was it. Slap, slap, rub on the shoulder. Khamzat definitely hits him back harder. You can tell that Khamzat means disrespect with his slaps. I don't know, man. Khamzat has one more thing that he wants to say here.
He came like there to make some hype for him, that guy. Trying to beat Conor, but never gonna beat Conor. He's a shit fighter. He won't cheat.
Trying to beat Conor, but never beat Conor. Khamzat Chimaev has said so many times that he idolizes Conor, learned so much from Conor. So I think that he really wants to beat Conor, and he's probably jealous of a guy like Ian Garry that actually is able to speak properly without having to mumble through every word that he says. But anyway, this is Ian Garry's response to the backstage beef with Khamzat. 351.
What happened with Khamzat Chimaev?
I went up to Sarukian. I congratulated him. I went up to Khamzat. I said, hey, champ, what's up? When are we going to see you back? He goes, I don't know, brother. Whenever. Smash. All right, cool. Sweet. Slaps me on the back. I'm like, all right, cool. Security guy gets in front of us. I'm like, we literally were just cool with each other. He's not going to fight me. And then that childish energy comes out. Yeah, fuck you, brother. Fuck you. Boom. Tries to push me. I just turned around and went, you're meant to be a champion of this sport. You're a child. You're taken away from your friends' win over here. How about you calm down, slow down, and have a bit of respect for your friend over here rather than trying to steal the headlines.
That is exactly what happened. Of the two of them, based on their sort of reactions, Khamzat Chimaev made this whole thing about disrespect for being slapped on the back. Ian Garry just literally laid out what happened, and it's true. And Khamzat overblew this for no reason, like he always does. Bad behavior that Armin's saying. Get out of here.
Do you want the honest truth? It's little dick energy.
I think that might be true. I would not be surprised if Khamzat Chimaev's sporting a tiny little thing, and that's why he's so angry and wants to smash everybody, kill everybody, brother.
I need to show the world I'm tough. I need to show you're the champion of the world. No one needs to see you be tough. You don't need to have these anger management issues. Just be a man. Sorry. I'll get
Boom. Roasted. And then he get this.
him one day.
Oh, you missed. I missed. That was my bad.
Sorry. I'll get him one day.
I'll get him one day. So he's open to that fight. But check this.
Over here.
You're all going to try grab a hold of my legs. Born little. I'm not going to get. Don't get me started.
He's basically, again, just calling out the whole, that whole group of, they're just going to go for my legs, boring, da, 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 da. Not a bad way to handle this whole situation. I definitely think out of this little scuffle between Ian Garry and Khamzat Chimaev, Ian Garry came out with the more aura out of the moment. And Khamzat Chimaev probably actually lost a little bit. He sort of looked like he got bitched out by Ian Garry there. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just buying into it because I've been watching all this Ian Garry this morning. You tell me what you think. But let's get into this Octagon interview because seriously, guys, there has not been a UFC fighter in the last few years that's actually had an Octagon interview like this. So he starts by basically just giving his quick feedback on the performance and how he grew to be able to handle a guy like Belal, and then goes straight into the Octagon call out. So I'm just going to let it play for the next minute.
And I will see you soon. That's the way to make.
That is the way to make a call out, man. I agree, Michael Bisping. So great Octagon interview. Great moment. You know, there was all of that welterweight stuff last week. Islam Makhachev wins the belt. Michael Morales and Carlos Prates both win their fights in more exciting fashion than Ian Garry won his fight in. But because Ian Garry got to go last and he really capitalized on this microphone moment, it's hard to deny that he should be the next one to fight Islam Makhachev. It really is. He goes on to lay out his case a little bit more here, so I just want to listen to a little bit of this because he gets to explain his process, his thoughts a bit more clearly.
Pitch or a great call out of Islam Makhachev after the fight, and I believe I just heard you refer to it as Khabib protege versus McGregor protege. Talk to me about that fight, and you know, with your promotion, with that backstory, how big could that fight be?
Firstly, I want to say that I have nothing but respect for Islam Makhachev. Nothing. The guy's the pound for pound #1 in the world and the champion of my division. However, when you come into my division and you are the only thing that stops me, that is in the way of me achieving my dreams, I'm going to make sure that I punch a hole in your head. He has to fight me next. There is nobody that has fought a deeper division, that has fought the guys from top to bottom. You'd name them: D-Rod, Magny, Jeff Neal, MVP, Shavkat, Prates, and now Belal Muhammed. And I haven't even got a title shot yet. And they're going to throw some flashes in the pans out there? Not a chance. Not on my watch. Over my dead body. Islam Makhachev is the protege of Khabib. I am the protege of Conor, right? This is the new wave of Dagestan, a more technical on the feet, a more technical grappler than Khabib. I am a longer, faster, more versatile version of Conor, right? It's the perfect fight to make. He has to take me down. I have to keep it on the feet. He can choose it wherever he wants. The ball's in his court, whenever he's ready, whenever he wants. If he wants to do it in Dagestan, Russia, I will see him there. I'm not afraid of any man walking this earth, but he has to do the right thing now. He has to do the right thing. He has a duty as champion of the welterweight division to fight the best in the world. Tonight, I proved I'm the best in the world.
I mean, that's pretty good, right? Like, he does an awesome job of framing the other welterweights as either like has-beens or just flashes in the pan. He has that parody of the Conor Khabib fight. I think there's like real truth to that. This would be an echo of that initial fight. And he did it in a respectful way where now Islam and Team Khabib can't sit there and be like, well, we're not going to give him the fight because he's disrespectful like Conor McGregor and blah, blah, blah. He's saying, I'm the best guy. I'll fight him anywhere. This is true. Ian has been fighting anyone, anytime, anywhere more than any other fighter in the welterweight division and maybe even any other division lately. Like, other than Merab as the champ, Ian Garry as a contender is not just sitting on his spot. He's winning fights. He had a close fight against Shavkat Rakhmonov. He's saying, I'm the #1 guy and you got to fight me. And yeah, I'm Irish, so we get to play off of that effect. But these other guys that are here that are getting these knockouts, yeah, they had one good win. Are you really going to take them? Are you really going to take Kamaru Usman, who's been out for ages? Like, it's a strong argument. I want to show you this, though, because this, to me, I'm wondering if this is going to be the difference maker between Ian Garry and some of the other guys that actually fight against, like, these Dagestanis. So, you know, thinking like DDP or JDM recently, right? Check this out.
Well, that's for me. We made an interview.
Yeah, with the Georgia fans? Don't worry. I need Georgia's help.
So he's talking to this Georgian interviewer that they had a big interview the other day that did like 1 million views. There's 3.5 million people in Georgia. So for an interview to get 1 million views with the Georgian news outlet is crazy.
Country of the 3.7 million people living in Georgia. More than 1 million people watched your interview and they want to see in Georgia. So now we talked about.
I promise you, I told you at that interview, I'm coming to Georgia. I told all of you, I will come to Georgia because Georgia has phenomenal wrestling, phenomenal judo, phenomenal sambo. And when you are trying to prepare for someone like Islam Makhachev, I'm going to need that. So Georgia, I'm hauling to you guys. I'm going to need your help. So every southpaw wrestler, every guy that thinks he's going to be like Islam Makhachev, we need to find a place. I will see you there, and I will call for your help. I'll get your guys' number after this, and we'll make sure we sort this out, right?
Absolutely.
Networking after a win. That's what's smart. That's where the intelligence comes in here. I appreciate you guys. All my love to Georgia.
Thank you so much.
I mean, like, he doesn't have that natural, raw sort of charisma that Conor McGregor had, especially like when he was playing the Notorious character. But he does actually seem pretty authentic, and he is fun. Like, and you know, this idea of going to Georgia to get grappling help, like the Georgians would love to beat Islam. They would love it, especially like if the Ilya fight's not going to happen anytime soon. Maybe, I don't know, there could be some stuff there, but I think that this could be the difference maker for Ian. You know, he's been willing to travel all over the world to sharpen his skills. What could training with 5 to 10 hardcore wrestlers in Georgia do for a guy that's already a very capable grappler in the welterweight division and has that type of distance management, right? It's like if he just spent the next 6 to 12 months constantly training with these wrestlers over and over and over again, takedown, just spamming it, all of these different, just fresh guy after fresh guy after fresh guy. Whew, I mean, I think he could be a force, man. Ian Garry understands that he needs to evolve always if he wants to be the best fighter. He's been traveling to Brazil to train with Charles Oliveira and these guys, get that ground game on top of the kickboxing style that he already had. So, you know, there's a level of humility here, if you pay attention, that's actually showing that unlike DDP, who wanted to stay with his home team, and JDM that wanted to stay with their home team, even though these home teams did not have the level of grappling skill that this Caucasus region has, Ian Garry's going, I know that I need to get over there and learn what these guys do. Otherwise, I'm going to be outskilled. So I love that, honestly. Like, again, taking any sort of bias of not liking Ian Garry because his wife is a terrible person and he's a cuck, that's pretty good sign that he's actually going to do what he needs to do to get to the level that he needs to be at to potentially beat an Islam Makhachev, right? Could I say the same thing for Carlos Prates or Michael Morales? I don't think so, but check this out. So this is about like the authenticity of Ian Garry, despite how cringy it is. It's also sort of what makes him charismatic. He's like your annoying younger brother, but once you realize that he's never going to change, he sort of grows on you and you actually want to see him succeed. Check this out.
Потому что тогда очень круто получилось.
Wish I knew what he was saying.
Oh,
I
you're
wish
about
I
to
would
know what he's saying.
Go ahead.
I did a countdown of best singers in the UFC.
And
you did
we can bring it down the floor and never dance like this before. Listen, I should go on to the X Factor, right? That's what I should do. I should go on. I'd probably run a hell of a lot more money singing some songs in the world because I'm beautiful, I'm long, I'm tall, I'm blonde. It doesn't get better than that. Go on. So he did.
Just into music, like right out of the gate, like also compliments. Whatever he said, I want to hear it, you know, gets the translation. As soon as he hears that it's about him singing, just bursts into song like a theater kid, and then riffs on the fact that he probably would have been more successful as a theater kid than a fighter. That's hilarious.
I'm the best singer in the UFC?
Right.
Yeah, damn right I am. I appreciate you. You just tell me what song you want to sing next time and I'll do that for you.
That was the question. Can you sing for us? You already did, so you already answered it.
Ian, thank you for the fight. It was amazing.
That's pretty cool, right? And then Ian basically goes right from that into this like awesome kneeless rant against Kamaru Usman and Shavkat. Check this out.
And after on the desk, you said that Kamaru and Shavkat needless. Kneeless, yes.
Kneeless, like as in they have no knees.
Yes.
Well, Kamaru's just had...
Could you explain us what you mean about that?
So, Kamaru Usman has just had double knee surgery, and Shavkat Rakhmonov has had 2 knee surgeries in a row. So both of them are very struggling right now, aren't they? Kamaru Usman is irrelevant. He shouldn't be mentioned in this title contention. It's ridiculous. It's Khabib's camp being smart and trying to get a has-been who has name value for Islam to get a 17th consecutive win. That's a...
how smart is that? Just to pause there for a second. How smart is that to like frame Kamaru Usman as just like the easy matchup that the Khabib camp wants? Because it's very hard now. Like, I was pushing for Usman to be the next fight for Islam. It's the legacy fight. He has the wrestling, you know, give Islam that chance to just like get that big name on his record, the same way that Usman would have wanted to with GSP. But this is a pretty masterful way to make it so that if they take Usman as his next fight, when the only win that he's had out of his last 4 fights is against Joaquin Buckley, it's going to look like a joke now. It's going to look like a joke with what Ian Garry's been able to say here.
Cop out as a champion. If that fight cannot happen, because that is not the right thing to do. That is not the duty of the world champion. He's meant to fight the best in the world, of which that is me, Shavkat Rakhmonov. I love him. I have nothing but respect for him. But I bust his knee up pretty bad in that fight, just like I did to Belal tonight, right? He has had two knee surgeries. The first one failed. Oh, he's still checking the second one out. We won't see him for very long.
That does such a good job of showing that like Kamaru and Shavkat, even if they might have the skills to be able to deal with Islam Makhachev, we don't know if they're actually physically capable of handling the task. They might both break and fall apart. And when you've seen like the TJ Dillashaws going into their fights with like messed up shoulders, or Jamal Hill with his ACL injury and stuff like that, as you see in recent years, some of these fighters that have gone into fights injured, you don't really want to see Islam Makhachev going in there against a guy that may be physically compromised. I do think that we would all probably prefer to see either Usman or Shavkat, whoever's going to fight Islam, go and get a really awesome win under their belt first, and then go in it to show that they're still good. I know that Usman had the one against Joaquin Buckley, but is that really good enough to earn an Islam Makhachev fight after everything that we've seen of these other welterweights over the last week?
Thank you.
So I'm going to jump to 12:31. This is another just a good, interesting example. And this is basically my second last example, and then we can close it up.
In one fight? That's unreal. So I defended the most shots in welterweight history in one fight. Now that's a stat. There we go.
There we go.
Do you see how, like, again, he's not natural. He doesn't prepare in the same way that McGregor does. And even if he did prepare, he's not good at nailing the lines or anything like that. But he's right there in the moment. He's very present. He's trying to enjoy the moment. He's trying to make fun out of it. He's making his call outs. He's giving proper answers to the questions. He's not doing what every other fighter does of just like, yeah, it was good. I had a game plan. Where like you pretty much know every answer that's going to come out of their mouth. This is fun. We should want this out of our UFC fighters, right? It's like, I know that we all hate on Ian Garry. Some of the people in my audience, you know who you are, really hate Ian Garry. But don't we want fighters to have fun at press conferences like this? Don't we want the fight nights to have a good Octagon interview, some backstage drama, you know, bleeding into other elements of the UFC narrative? Like, come on.
Congratulations. With that stats setting aside,
I also set another stat tonight, right?
Tell me.
I've just tied the most wins in Irish MMA history
10
in the
Conor,
UFC.
right?
I'm tied 10. That's going to be broken pretty soon. So I'm winning fights. I'm breaking records. I'm tying records of the greatest that have ever done this sport. I'm 28 years of age. There's a long way to go. There's a long, long way to go.
It's very true. There is a long way to go for this guy's career, man. And do I think he can beat Islam? I don't know, but in 3 or 4 years, could he be the best fighter in the world? I mean, if he continues to evolve his game at that welterweight division, he's so big and long. I mean, he could literally pause on the big and long. He could literally be like a welterweight John Jones if he figured out how to use his body effectively against a lot of these guys that are a lot smaller. I will be interested as well to see how he'll match up against someone like a Michael Morales with the size element. But, you know, I guess we saw that with Shavkat and MVP. It's harder for him to get his striking off. But, yeah, I mean, and he's a good fighter. Love him or hate him, he's a good fighter. I just want to go to his final statement. Like, there are a lot of really great moments in this interview. You definitely go watch it if you want to maybe change your opinion on Ian Garry. But this is his final statement on him versus the other welterweight contenders. Let's check this out.
Why do you think that you and not Michael Morales should be the next Makhachev opponent?
Why do you think that you should be Makhachev's next opponent instead of Michael Morales?
Why do I think I should be the next opponent over Michael Morales? Because he's a flash in the pan. He's not done what I've done. He's not had the road that I've had. He's not fought the guys that I've had. I just beat Carlos Patches and I just beat Belal Muhammed. Two guys that are the best in the world. Before that, I fought Shavkat. Before that, I fought MVP. Before that, I fought Jeff Neal. Before that, dude, the list goes on. There is no one who has been tested more than me. There is no one who has been through it more than me. The highs, the lows, the booing, the odds, whatever it is. I'm a polarizing figure, but I am the best in the world, my friend. So you cannot count me out. Islam Makhachev is the king of this throne, the king of the division. He has to fight the best in the world. And that's Ian Machado Garry.
And last for me, maybe.
Case closed. Sorry, guys. Case closed. That's, like I said, I wanted it to be Kamaru Usman, and it would still be a cool fight to see. I wouldn't be disappointed. But I do agree that Ian deserves this fight more than any other welterweight. And we as fans should reward fighters for fighting actively, fighting anybody, like promoting themselves well like this, making the fights enjoyable, actually calling out the opponent so that there's a build-up and anticipation. The press conferences, there would actually be talk. You wouldn't see like a JDM Islam press conference where it's just like, oh yeah, it's going to be, we'll see this and that. Like, Ian Garry's going to turn it into something. He wants to live up to that McGregor-Habib hype, so he's going to try and hype this thing up. You wait and see, I promise. But he does say a lot of other good stuff in this interview. You know, as a Bellator rant, good breakdown of his fight with Belal, funny interactions with reporters. Just this one very last, 5 seconds here that you got to check out.
Can you talk us about that? And I honestly noticed that your biceps got bigger. Yeah, maybe you could tell us about your.
Are you flirting with me?
No.
Come on, dude. My wife's in the room.
No.
I am. No. When I fought
Yes, I mean, come on. This is what these press conferences should be about. Usually the fighters are so stone-faced and we get nothing out of it. But at least this guy's having some fun. I know that he's super cringe and his wife's a monster. And we, have a lot of fun bullying Ian Garry. But, you know, maybe we're finally starting to get to a place where we can enjoy Ian Garry and be glad that he's here and actually want to see him get that fight against Islam Makhachev because he does deserve it and he's going to make it an enjoyable experience. So I've come around. I'm an Ian Garry fan now. I'm saying it. I'm just going to call it. I'm an Ian Garry fan. I hope that you're an Ian Garry fan now too. The future Ian Garry is going to beat Islam Makhachev. Honestly, anyone that's actually putting together a game plan to beat these Dagestani boring crotch sniffers, I'm all for you. I'm your fan. So let's go.